Music Identity.
Okay, welcome back. So, we have gone through what we need to get started. We have gone through the basic settings in FL Studio to get it running properly so that we can actually get something done. And now we want to do just that. We want to get something done. We want to make something. We want to get audio out of the program. So let's do that. Let's hop straight into that. So here we are, right where we left off in the last part. What I'm going to do from here is we want to basically reset this. We want to make a new project. So the way we're going to do that is I will go up to the upper left corner here. And right in the things that we were looking at before, there is this file option. So we'll go to file and we will press new. Okay, so file, new. That basically makes a new project. So it'll just take a minute and there we go. Everything is gone. Okay, we're in a blank slate. We're going to make everything from scratch here. So what you notice if you press play here, nothing happens. We have nothing. Okay. So let's reset this. This is probably what you'll see when you start a new project. You may have some more stuff in the background, like for example, you may have the channel rack here up. I am not sure, to be honest, what you'll have up and not, but these two windows are the most important things that we'll keep an eye on here. And by the way, I know there's a lot of buttons, a lot of stuff happening in this program. You probably have no idea what you're looking at. If you're wondering about anything, what you want to keep an eye on is the little gray box area here below all the file, edit, add patterns, options, all of that. You want to keep an eye on this gray box. So if you look there, when I hover my mouse over basically any button or any function in the program, most of the stuff have a brief description over in the gray box there. So if you're wondering about what anything does, hover your mouse over it and check that gray box area, and you'll probably get a decent idea of what you're looking at there. So basically, if you don't have these two windows open when you start it up, this is where you find them. So when I hover over them, it says on the left side, view playlist on this one and view channel rack on this one. So the playlist turns the playlist on and off. Same with the channel rack, turns the channel rack on and off. Okay. So like I said, that's the two main windows we're going to look at. Later on, we're going to get into the mixer, but that's more advanced. We'll stick to the basics for now, basically. So first things first, we want to get some sound out of the program. How do we do that? Well, you have the browser here on your left side of the screen. It may be a little smaller when you start it up. So you can just grab it on the side here and just drag it out and in. So when you have like longer file names, you might want to have to make that bigger to be able to read all the files. Okay. And something that comes with FL Studio is this packs folder. So these are all folders, okay? And if we go into packs, we'll see a bunch of subfolders. And these are all normal folders in Windows. So if we right-click something here and go to Windows Shell menu, we can press open. And so here you'll see we have all of the files. You'll see it's in FL Studio 12, data, patches, and basically patches, this is where you have all your files. So if you want to import your own audio files, this is where you'll put them. So I have a few stuff here, but I'm not going to go through that now. So anyway, we're in packs in FL Studio. Now let's go to loops. So the easiest way to get started is combine a bunch of the finished loops, just to combine a few different sounds and make something new out of them. So these are audio files, basically MP3s or WAV files or any file type that you might have. it'll be able to be played in FL Studio. The way you preview it is, like, if you want to hear what this DL breaker sounds like, just left click it, just click the file and it'll play the audio for you. Like that. And you can keep looking through the loops here to see which one you like the most. And another way to scroll through these, if you have a lot of files, an easier way is to use your down and up arrow. So that the arrow keys on your keyboard, basically. I'm just gonna press the down key to go down in the list, up key to go up in the list. Okay. So let's say we listen through a bunch of these and we like, for example, this one. Okay, so let's say we want to get this DL Groover into our project. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to grab the DL Groover file, hold down our mouse button, okay, just drag it over, and we will drop it in our playlist. So there we are. It's in our playlist, okay? We see the file in our playlist. And you may have noticed that it's also shown up in our channel rack here. So what the channel rack does is it basically, this is where you'll find all the sounds that you're using in your project, okay? So as we add more sounds, you'll see all of them in the list here in the channel rack, okay? But for now, we have it in our playlist. So to play it, to listen to what we have here, first of all, I'll zoom in. The way I do that is I hover my mouse on this black row on the almost the top of the playlist. I'll hover my mouse over the black row here and just scroll. So with the scroll wheel, I can zoom in and out right there. Okay? You can also just grab the thing here. I'm not sure what to call it, but you can grab it right there and zoom in and out like that as well. But I usually just scroll right there. You'll see if I scroll down here, it doesn't work quite the same way, but there we go. Okay, so we have a file here. We wanna listen to it. What we do is we go up to this button. If you read over here, you'll see it says song/pattern mode. All right. So next to it, we have a play button. If we try to play it right now, we won't hear anything. You'll see a thing goes to, it plays through the channel rack here, which we don't have anything in the channel rack. And I'll go through how to use that soon. But for now, we want to listen to the playlist. So to do that, we will click the song/pattern mode. So right now it's in pattern mode. We want to switch it to song mode. So you'll see the difference on the button there. So right now it's in song mode, which also brings out this, marker on the top here of the playlist, the green little triangle right there. That basically decides from where you want to play. So let's say we want to play from the beginning. We'll drag this to the start. And either you press play up here, or the way I do it is I just press space on my keyboard, and that plays it as well. So let's listen to what this sounds like. All right, cool. So we have our first drum loop in there. Nice. So let's say we want to add something more. I'm not going to take too long and find something really good here. I'm just trying to learn, to teach you the basics, and you can take it from there and try to create something that actually sounds good, right? So we have a drum loop. Let's say we want, something more. Another folder that might be cool to look through when you're just starting out, something that comes with FL Studio, is if you close the packs folder, so you just press the same folder to close it, right? So we close that and we go into the MISC folder up here, and we can check out some of the folders here. I'm gonna go to the used by demo projects. So with FL Studio, it always comes with some demo projects that you can open and listen to, basically to just see what can be done with FL Studio. And this is where you find a lot of the files that's being used in those projects. So you might find some cool stuff in here. Let's see what we might want to add. Let's try to find something here. You can find a lot of stuff. let's say you want to add a clap, okay? So let's say you want to add the clap, you know, basically to where you usually add claps. What I did is I dragged it again, dropped it where I want it to go, so right there. If you want to add a file several times in the playlist, what you do is you just click wherever you want to add it, okay? So I want to add it right there. If you want to remove anything, you right-click on wherever you want to remove, and it does that. But I didn't want to do that now, so I'm going to press Ctrl-Z to undo. If I want to undo more than once, you see it doesn't do it really. So what I'll do is I'll press Ctrl-Alt-Z to undo again. And that also brings up the history here in the browser. Oh yeah, and if you didn't notice, I don't know if you could see in the beginning that you had different tabs here. I probably should have gone through that. Basically, this tab is just for like the history in your current projects and things like that. You can browse your current project in this middle tab of the browser. On this tab, you'll find some plugins, the plugin database. We're not going to go through that right now. We're going to go through that in the part where we're going to be making a melody, our own melody. But that comes a little bit later here. So I'll go back to the all, the tab that says all. I'll press that and I'll get all my files back, right? So we have our drum loop and we have our clap. Let's see what that sounds like. So I will press play. All right, cool. So we have two sounds, we combined them together, we made something new. Nice. Now, what you can also do is you see you have different tracks here on the side. And our different sounds are on different tracks. Now you can place the sounds wherever you want to, on any track. But I have the clap on track 2 and the drum loop on track 1, right? So what we can do is, for example, if you press this green button on, say, the drum loop, you see that track is now grayed out, and we won't hear it when we press play. So if you press play now, we'll only hear the clap. Alright, and vice versa, we can enable that again and disable the clap instead. We'll only hear the drum loop. Alright, so that's handy to know if we ever want to disable one particular track. And we can do this sort of the same thing in channel rec. Again, you can see we have both of the sounds here in the channel rec up on the top. And again, if you don't have this open, the button is here for the channel rec, so that will open the channel rec if you don't already have it open. And so we have all our sounds here. Here we can, for example, change the volume of our clap. So this is the clap sound. I just press the sound to get that open, press it again to close it, the window here. This has a lot of more advanced features that we don't have to get into right now. So let's say we want to lower the volume of the clap. If I hover my mouse over this little knob here, you'll see it says channel volume up here. So I'll just lower that. So I'll hold my mouse and drag it down. We'll see the volume changes up there as well. You know, what we're doing to it. So let's say we want to put it at, 50% volume. Let's do that. Let's listen to it now. All right, we can lower it even more. We'll barely hear it. So, that's good to know. If something is too loud, you can change the volume there. And also, you can mute the sounds here. So let's say we want to mute the drum loop. There is a similar green button. Just disable that. You won't hear that drum loop. So for example, you could have several different sounds on the same track here in the playlist. So that way, maybe you don't want to disable the whole track, but you just want to disable this particular drum loop. You do that in the channel rec. Cool. I hope that makes sense. So another thing, another knob you can see here is the channel panning, which basically moves a sound. Basically this will only play it in your left speaker or your left headphone. Same the other way around. This will only play it on your right speaker or right headphone. And anywhere in between, you can see the percentage up here again. You can always see, what you're setting right there. So let's listen to what that sounds like. All right, so simple enough, you know, that's the basics of what you can do with the playlist and the channel rack. Just, you know, adding and removing various sounds that you can find in the browser here. So that's basically our first project now. We got some sounds out of the program. We made something new out of the files that we can find in the browser. I find that that's a good starting point, basically. I hope everything made sense for you. Again, if you have any questions, if anything doesn't make sense for you, you can always pause, rewind, watch it again. But if you still don't understand what I'm talking about, feel free to ask me whatever you don't understand, and I'll do my best to explain it for you. I'm trying to be thorough in these videos, but still I'm trying to compress them as much as possible. So I may be going kind of fast on some parts, and you know, that's just what I have to do, unfortunately. But that'll be it for this part. So in the next part, we're gonna go through some very important distinctions in music production. So basically, what I'm gonna go through in the next part is the difference between audio and MIDI, and that's very basic. It's kind of easy to understand. Might take a little bit for you to really wrap your head around it, but once you understand the difference between the two, that's something that's really going to help you in producing music. So yeah, that's what I'm going to go through in the next video. I hope this was good for you. I hope you understood anything, and I hope I'll see you in the next one. Later.
Why does all the stars go black? Even when they seem to go on forever. Why does everything turn to dust when it all seems so connected?